If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of minifigs. I like them, I don't love them, but when I saw the Series 27 CMFs, that changed. In particular, I knew that I had to pick up some of these Wolfpack Beastmasters because I love castle and medieval Lego. So that's what I did. I went out to the store, picked up a couple of them, and I'm going to do a deep review of this minifig right here and a historical comparison to the previous ones to see just how good this minifig actually is. Let's dive in. At the Lego store, I used the OMG Bricks app to scan the barcodes to make sure I knew I was getting the Wolfpack Beastmaster. The scan worked about 90+% of the time, and because supplies were fresh, I was confident that these 3 boxes were indeed the Beastmaster. Of course, you never know for sure until you open them, but it all checked out. As you would expect, based on the official set image, you get the Wolfpack Beastmaster with a cape, hood, sword, shield, and the wolf. What really jumps out to me is the quality of this minifig. At $5 per fig, the collectible miniseries has to deliver on high expectations, and this minifig absolutely did just that. Here's what I mean. Once you remove the sword and the shield, note just how much printing there is. There's the Wolfpack crest on the torso along with some stitching on either side. On the front of the dual molded legs, there is chainmail with a small gap, which is a fascinating detail. The printing continues all the way to the back with an armored collar sticking out from the reddish-brown jacket, and again, there's some stitching on both sides. Both forearms have chainmail printing, which is an incredible detail to include and not one that I was really expecting. Even the small crease in the sleeve is a nice touch. The cape is not the usual stiff cloth variety that came with the Wolfpack crook in the medieval town square. This one is soft and pliable with jagged edges, either as part of the look or due to the wear and tear of the Beastmaster. According to Bricklink, this is a brand new cape. The head has printing on both sides. On one is the snarling, determined expression, bushy eyebrows, scar along the left side of his face, stubble, and gray and black hair. The other side maintains everything but the expression, instead exhibiting a whistling, like he's calling his beast to him, or a cringy, pained look. The hoods are fantastically contoured and cast just the right amount of shadow on his face. Here are both expressions with the hood on, and this is so good. That the minifig itself is so great threatens to overshadow the accessories, which are equally as enticing as you will find in any sort of collectible minifig. First, there's the sword, which is pretty standard, having appeared in 15 sets. The shield, however, is a new, updated version of the OG Wolfpack shield. The red outline is crisp, the angled eyes of the wolf intimidating, and the fangs are ominous. Here it is next to an original shield from 30 years ago, and I think we can agree which one is more menacing. Note also just how much brighter the red outline is on the new version. Also, the ears are shorter, the face more angular, the fangs broader, and the nose smaller on this one. I gotta say, I love this shield. Here's the new wolf in all of its glory. Aside from the face printing, it's a monochrome light blay. The mane is layered on the sides of the neck and the tail frayed on the ends. The face has dark eyes and brows with white pupils, a black nose, and dark blay streak running up its snout. The wolf on the shield may look a bit more imposing, but this is still fantastic. If you want to pose him, it will take a space of a 1x4 stud, but he attaches well to this plate as an example. I know you want a comparison across different generations of the Wolfpack minifigs, so that's what we're going to do right now. On the left is one of my original Wolfpack figures from the early 1990s. This one coming from the Wolfpack Renegade set from 1992. This one has the black legs and red hips, but the more important parts are the shield, torso, and cowl. The torso printing is a bit worn, but still shows pretty well all these years later. Note how rounded the bottom of the crest is compared to the newer versions. The eye patch head printing was fairly common back then, appearing in 28 sets, as did the black cowl. The minifig came with a cape, not shown, my apologies, but it was one of the small plastic varieties from the 1980s and 1990s that lacked some of the panache of the more recent versions. In the middle is the Wolfpack crook from the medieval town square. Note the much more nuanced printing from the 1990s version, but also how different it is from the CMF Beastmaster. The crook has a belt and a money pouch on his waist. His black arms are nice but lack the same detailing and printing as the new one, and even his crest is slightly different. It's taller and more pointed at the bottom. His hood is different, not just in color but in its contours, and his legs are a single color with no printing. His back printing holds up pretty well with a collar, creases, and the continuation of his belt. Of course, back printing didn't exist in the 1990s, so the modern minifigs are superior here. In examining this minifig in detail, I can't say enough good things about it. I really can't. There's so many fantastic qualities to this minifig, and perhaps I'm gushing because I'm new really to the CMF lines. I've gotten some in the past, but I haven't purchased any of the medieval or castle ones. But this is fantastic, and it's certainly one that is in demand in terms of getting the Wolfpack, and specifically a Wolfpack leader, and I think that's the nice variation that we are seeing with this. Of course, the minifig is great and the accessories are elite on top of that, which means this minifig is certainly in demand. In checking out Bricklink, I've already seen that it is going for $13 to $14. Now that could go down as there's more supply added, but I anticipate that it will eventually go back up because I don't know how long these are really going to be around, and of course, these are going to get picked through pretty quickly. So this is a fantastic minifig, absolutely worth the $5 that it cost me to pick one of them up. And I will say, if you are going hunting for the Wolfpack Beastmaster, make sure you have an app on your phone that's going to allow you to scan the barcodes. Again, I used OMG Bricks, which worked well on my Android, but there are other options available, so you might want to check those out. Are you planning on getting any of the other CMFs from Series 27? Comment down below. When I was at the Lego store, it seemed like the toy plush collector and the Wolfpack Beastmaster were in high demand. So let me know what you're thinking about those in the comments. Thanks for watching, and always remember to keep building together.